Before we do anything else today, let's do a very simple blood flow self-check. In the next 30 seconds, you're going to get a quick snapshot of whether your body may be showing signs that blood flow deserves more attention right now. No awkward language, no complicated medical terms, no guessing, just honest answers. If you are over 60 and you've been noticing weaker erections, less firmness, lower stamina, slower response, or a body that just does not feel as physically capable as it used to, this matters more than many men realize. Because blood flow problems rarely walk into your life wearing a name tag. They usually show up as a slow drift, less movement here, more sitting there, a little more belly fat, a little worse sleep, a little more blood pressure, and men often call all of it just getting older. I'm Dr. James Whitaker, and here is how this works. You are starting with a perfect score of 7 points. I'm going to describe 7 blood flow mistakes. For each one that applies to you, subtract 1 point. At the end, you'll have a clearer sense of whether your body may be showing a broader pattern worth paying attention to. And stay with me until the end, because the #1 mistake men make with blood flow and bedroom performance is the one that keeps them focused on the symptom while missing the deeper message underneath it. Let's begin. You start with 7 points. #1. Do you spend long stretches of the day sitting and rarely break that pattern with walking or regular movement? If yes, subtract 1 point. #2. Do you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, or rising blood sugar and tend to think of those as separate from sexual performance? If yes, subtract 1 point. #3. Have you gained belly fat, lost muscle, or become noticeably less active than you used to be? If yes, subtract 1 point. #4. Do you sleep poorly, snore heavily, or wake up feeling unrested more mornings than not? If yes, subtract 1 point. #5. Do stress, tension, overthinking, or pressure now show up more often when it comes to intimacy? If yes, subtract 1 point. #6. Do you rely on quick fixes while ignoring the daily habits that support circulation, stamina, and vascular health? If yes, subtract 1 point. #7. Do you find yourself treating bedroom performance like a private issue instead of asking whether your blood flow may be part of the story? If yes, subtract your final point. Now look at your number. If you scored 6 or 7, that is a stronger starting point. You may not be showing many obvious blood flow mistakes right now, and that is good news. If you scored 4 to 5, your body may be sending early signals. That does not automatically mean something severe is happening, but it does mean the pattern deserves attention. If you scored 3 or lower, please don't panic and don't feel embarrassed. Many older men live with these changes for years without ever realizing that erections are often connected to circulation, stamina, metabolism, and the broader condition of the body. The goal today is not fear. It is awareness. Go ahead and write your score in the comments. I'd also like to know your age, where you're watching from, and which issue bothers you most right now. Is it weaker erections, lower stamina, more belly fat? Save your score, because we're coming back to it. Now let me give you 1 minute of simple science. An erection depends on good blood flow. That means blood vessels have to open properly, blood has to move in efficiently, and the body has to maintain that response. When circulation is weaker, when blood vessels are stiffer, when blood sugar is higher, when belly fat increases, when activity drops, or when sleep and stress start working against you, that entire process becomes less reliable. Here is what makes this tricky after 60. A lot of men assume performance changes are simply caused by age, but age is often just the background. The real drivers are often the everyday blood flow mistakes that slowly build over time. More sitting, less walking, worse metabolic health, more abdominal weight, poorer sleep, less stamina, more tension. And because these changes happen gradually, men normalize the pattern instead of seeing the connection. That is why the pattern matters. Bedroom performance is not usually shaped by one bad day alone. It is usually a cluster, several systems moving in the wrong direction at the same time. So now let's count down the 3 biggest messages your body may be sending when blood flow mistakes are part of the story. We're going from #3 to #1, and #1 is the one most men dismiss the longest. #3 is this. Your body may be telling you that inactivity is quietly reducing the quality of blood flow. This is one of the earliest patterns men experience, even if they do not use those words. They say, "I just don't feel as responsive." Or they say, "Things still work sometimes, but not with the same consistency." And because it happened gradually, they shrug it off. Here is how to notice this more clearly. Ask yourself whether your body has become more still over time. Are you walking less? Taking fewer stairs? Sitting longer? Avoiding exercise? Losing stamina? When movement drops, circulation often drops with it. And when circulation drops, bedroom performance can change long before men connect the dots. What should you notice? Blood flow-related performance changes often feel less like desire is gone, and more like the body is simply not delivering the same physical response it once did. Why does this matter? Because many men keep blaming confidence or age, when one of the biggest issues may be that the body is no longer being asked to stay cardiovascularly fit. If you need an easier version of this check, ask yourself one question this week. Have I become less physically active in a way that may be quietly weakening my circulation? That question can reveal a lot. Number 2 is this. Your body may be telling you that blood flow mistakes usually travel with a larger metabolic pattern. A lot of men focus only on the symptom itself. That is understandable. But when blood flow is part of the story, the bedroom change often does not happen alone. It may come with more belly fat, worse blood pressure, rising blood sugar, lower stamina, and a body that feels heavier and slower overall. Here is how to think about it more clearly. If erections are weaker but your waistline is also growing, your activity is also lower, your energy is also flatter, and your blood pressure or blood sugar is also worse, that broader picture matters. The body is rarely separating those things as neatly as men do in their minds. What should you notice? Bedroom performance connected to blood flow often feels less like one isolated problem and more like your whole physical system has lost some of its edge. Why does this matter? Because if a man looks only at performance and ignores blood pressure, waistline, metabolic health, sleep, and stamina, he may miss the bigger message his body is sending. The most common mistake is trying to fix one intimate symptom while continuing the exact same daily habits that are quietly harming circulation underneath it. If you need an easier version, ask yourself this. Is this only about performance? Or does it feel like my whole body has become less fit, less efficient, and less responsive? That distinction matters. And before we move to number 1, if this video is helping you understand your body more clearly, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to American Urologist. It helps me reach more older men who may be quietly living with these changes, but have never had them explained in practical, respectful language. And if you've made it this far, let me know in the comments which blood flow mistake you think men ignore for the longest. Now let's get to number 1. Number 1 is this. Your body may be telling you that the biggest mistake is treating blood flow like it only matters when something goes badly wrong. This is the message men miss the most. A lot of men assume blood flow is fine until there is a dramatic warning, chest pain, a serious diagnosis, a major event. But circulation often declines quietly. The body gives smaller clues first: weaker erections, less stamina, heavier legs, less exercise tolerance, a feeling that the body is not responding as cleanly as it used to. And because these changes build slowly, men adapt instead of responding. Relying on quick solutions while ignoring the direction your body is moving, if several of those are moving together, your body is asking for a closer look. What should you notice if you stop minimizing this? Clarity, because once you see bedroom performance as part of a broader blood flow picture, you stop treating each episode like a separate mystery. Why does this help? Because the bigger picture is what makes the pattern meaningful. One symptom can be many things. Several linked changes moving in the same direction tell a much stronger story. The most common mistake is waiting until everything feels badly broken before admitting something important has changed. If you need an easier version, remember this. Blood flow problems are often not one symptom shouted loudly. They are several systems quietly drifting downward together. Now let me give you 3 daily boosters that can help older men think more intelligently about blood flow and bedroom performance. First, walk every day. Not as punishment, not as a fitness contest, just as a consistent signal to your circulation that the body still needs strong blood flow. Second, pay attention to waistline, blood pressure, blood sugar, and sleep. Those patterns often travel together. Better vascular habits are often better bedroom habits too. Third, stop separating sexual performance from the rest of your physical health. Think in clusters. Erections, stamina, movement, sleep, stress, belly fat, and circulation together often tell you more than any one sign on its own. Now let's close the loop. Think back to your starting score. If you scored low today, don't let that disappear into the background. Recheck yourself in 2 weeks. Not because the symptoms will magically change overnight, but because awareness changes how honestly you observe your own body. Track whether the pattern feels stable, improving, or quietly worsening. Today, we talked about the blood flow mistakes that ruin bedroom performance in many men over 60. We looked at how inactivity, rising metabolic risk, Poor sleep, stress, and the habit of ignoring vascular health can all quietly push the body in the wrong direction. And we covered the 3 biggest messages your body may be sending when several of those systems begin drifting downward together. If this video helped you, share it with another man over 60 who has been feeling off but has never really understood what may be behind it. And if you want to keep going, watch the next video on your screen where I'll break down 6 normal symptoms after 60 that could actually signal heart trouble. I'm Dr. James Whitaker. Stay informed, stay steady, and I'll see you in the next one.